Take the check. Take your daughter. And get lost. Gu Tingshan tossed a 10 million yuan check in front of me without even raising an eyebrow. His white moonlight sat on the sofa beside him, linking her arm with his, smiling gently and triumphantly. I thought I would cry. After all, the original owner loved this man for 7 years, humbling herself to the dust. But I am not the original owner. I just crossed over 3 days ago. In my past life, I was a Michelin 5-star chef. And in this life, I have transmigrated into the body of a discarded noblewoman who was thrown out, along with a 5-year-old daughter. I was about to speak when my daughter Lin Xiaoyan rushed out of the room, grabbed the check from the table, and tore it to shreds. The fragments flew right into Gu Tingshan's face. This money is too dirty for us. She stood with her hands on her hips, a 5-year-old little person, exuding more authority than a domineering CEO. If you don't keep me here, there will be a place that will. Gu Tingshan, you will regret this. The room fell silent. Gu Tingshan's face turned ashen. Gu Tingshan himself was stunned. I squatted down and pinched my daughter's cheek. Xiaoyan, let's go. She took my hand and walked out with her head held high. Behind us, Bai Yuguang's voice came. Tingshan, look at her daughter's attitude. Shut up. Gu Tingshan's voice was very low. The corners of my mouth curled up. Regret. He will regret it soon enough. 3 days ago, I opened my eyes and found myself lying on a large bed. European-style decor. A crystal chandelier. Silk sheets. Next to me lay a 5-year-old girl, with 2 little pigtails. Her face rosy as she slept. A flood of memories surged into her mind. The original owner was named Qin Zhaoning, who had married into a wealthy family for 7 years, living humbly and patiently, serving her in-laws, taking care of her daughter, and treating her husband like a deity. As a result, her husband had always harbored a white moonlight in his heart, named Su Wanqing, who had just returned from abroad a few days ago. As soon as she returned, her husband wanted a divorce. The original owner cried all night last night. Cried to death. Literally cried to death. Then I came. I, a chef who has dropped pots in a Michelin kitchen for 20 years, have crossed over to become a discarded wife of a wealthy family. All right. A chef is a chef no matter where he is. I pinched the little girl's face. Wake up, Xiaoyan. She opened her eyes groggily, looked at me for 3 seconds, and suddenly hugged my neck tightly. Mom, are you unhappy again? Did Dad bully you again? No. I patted her back. Mom has figured it out. No more crying from now on. She looked up, her eyes shining. Really? Really? Then if Dad bullies you again, I'll help you scold him. I smiled. 3 days later, Gu Tingshan returned, accompanied by Su Wanqing. Su Wanqing was wearing a white trench coat, carrying a Hermes bag, her feet in 10-centimeter high heels, linking her arm with Gu Tingshan. Smiling like a painting, she sat on the sofa in the living room, crossing her legs, surveying the house. Tingshan, this house is quite nicely decorated. If you like it, keep it. What about her? Su Wanqing nudged her chin towards me. Gu Tingshan took out a check from his bag and tossed it onto the coffee table. 10 million. Sign the divorce agreement. Take your daughter, and leave. I looked at him. This man was very handsome, with sharp features and piercing eyes. But at this moment, his expression was like he was handling a business deal. Qin Zhaoning, stop messing around. Taking the money is good for everyone. I was just about to speak when Lin Xiaoyan rushed out of the room. She was wearing a pink dress, with 2 little pigtails, her small face tightly scrunched up. She ran to the coffee table and grabbed the check. Xiaoyan. Gu Tingshan frowned. This is not something you should be playing with. Rip. The check was torn in half. Tear. 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 The 5-year-old girl tore a $10 million check into pieces and tossed it into the air. The pieces fluttered down, some landing on Gu Tingshan's head, while others fell into Su Wanqing's bag. This money, we find it dirty. Lin Xiaonian placed her hands on her hips. Her voice crisp, each word resonating. If you don't keep me here, there will be a place that will. Gu Tingshan, you will regret this. The living room fell silent. Gu Tingshan's face turned from white to green, then from green to purple. Su Wanqing's smile froze on her face. She hadn't even had time to pick out the shredded checks from her bag. I squatted down and pinched my daughter's cheek. Xiaonian, let's go. She took my hand and walked towards the door with her head held high. When we reached the door, she turned back to take a glance. The 5-year-old girl had a gaze like a knife. Dad, I won't call you that anymore. The door closed. Behind him, Su Wanqing's voice came through. Tingshan, look at her daughter's attitude. Shut up. Gu Tingshan's voice was low, like the heaviness before a storm. I am holding Xiaonian's hand as we walk down the road. Her little hand is warm, gripping my fingers tightly. Walking with great seriousness. Mom, where are we going? We're going to rent a house. Then what? Then Mom will make you something delicious. She looked up at me, her eyes shining. Mom, your cooking is the best. I smiled. In the original owner's memories, she did often cook for her daughter. But as for the original owner's cooking skills, how should I put it? Edible, but not delicious. But indifferent. In my past life, I spent 20 years in a Michelin kitchen. My skills can silence even the most discerning food critics. We rented a small house in the old town, with a monthly rent of 1,500. The house is small, but the kitchen is spacious. This is the only reason I chose it. After settling down, I counted the hidden stash of money left by the original owner, 80,000. Not much, but enough to start a barbecue stall. I spent 2 days running all over the city, finding the best suppliers for ingredients. The lamb should be from Inner Mongolia, the beef from Australia, and the seasonings should be shipped directly from their place of origin. The experience accumulated from my past life is still useful here. On the 3rd day, the barbecue stall opened. The location was chosen at the entrance of an urban village alley, where the foot traffic was high but the rent was cheap. I set up the grill, arranged a folding table, and hung a handwritten sign, Nian Nian Barbecue. Nian Nian is Lin Xiaonian's nickname. Xiaonian moved a small stool to sit beside me, helping me arrange the bamboo skewers one by one. Mom, why do we call Nian Nian for barbecue? Because you are Mommy's treasure. She smiled, revealing 2 small canine teeth. On the first day, there weren't many customers, but everyone who had tasted it was stunned. Boss, why is your lamb skewer so tender? Secret marinade. Boss, this chicken wing is crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. I've never had anything like this. Exclusive recipe. The next day, there were more people. On the 3rd day, a line formed. On the 4th day, the alley was packed. My barbecue stall became popular, not because it was cheap, but because it was delicious. With 20 years of skills from my past life, combined with my exclusive marinade and dipping sauce, each skewer of barbecue is a work of art. Xiaonian sat next to the cash register, helping customers with their bills and change. The 5-year-old girl could calculate faster than the adults, never making a mistake. Auntie, your total is 47 yuan. Please scan here. Uncle, you overpaid by 10 yuan. Hey, race your refund. The guests all laughed at her. Little one, how old are you? 5 years old. 5 years old, and you can do math. I can also recite the multiplication table, she said, tilting her little face up seriously. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. The guests laughed uproariously. A big sister recorded a video and posted it online, titled 5-year-old cute kid helps mom set up a barbecue stall. Quick and accurate with the accounts, the video went viral that very night. The views surpassed 1 million, And the comments section was filled with "so cute. I want to take her home. How did this daughter come to be?" The next day, the video trended on social media. On the third day, a local TV station came to interview. The reporter was a young girl, squatting in front of Xiao Yan with a microphone. "Little one, why are you helping your mom set up the stall?" Xiao Yan tilted her head and thought for a moment. "Because it's too hard for mom to do it alone. I want to help mom earn money and buy her a big house in the future." The reporter's eyes turned red. The cameraman's hand trembled slightly. That night, the news aired. The headline was "5-year-old cute kid helps mom run a barbecue stall." The story behind it makes people tear up. The news mentioned that I was a single mother, that I had been kicked out, and that I started from scratch with my daughter. But it didn't mention Gu Tingshan's name. I didn't want it to be mentioned. But Gu Tingshan still saw it. When Gu Tingshan saw the news, he was having a candlelight dinner with Su Wanqing. Su Wanqing was scrolling through her phone when she suddenly stopped. "Tingshan, look at this." She handed over her phone. On the screen, Xiao Yan was sitting on a small stool, diligently helping a customer with their change. The camera swept over the barbecue stall, passing by my silhouette. Gu Tingshan's face turned pale. "Is this Qin Zhaoning?" "Yeah." Su Wanqing's tone was very flat. "She's running a barbecue stall." Gu Tingshan put down his knife and fork, staring at the screen for a long time. "She used to cook very poorly. Maybe it was forced out." Su Wanqing smiled. "After all, with a child to take care of, one has to survive." Gu Tingshan remained silent. He recalled what Xiao Yan had said the day she tore up the check. "Gu Tingshan, you will regret it." He picked up his phone and scrolled to my number. His finger hovered over the dial button, hesitating for a long time. Su Wanqing watched his actions, her gaze darkening for a moment. "Do you want to call her?" "No." "Then what are you doing with your phone?" He put down his phone and picked up his wine glass to take a sip. "Nothing." Su Wanqing smiled, her smile gentle, but there was no warmth in her eyes. The next day, Su Wanqing came to my barbecue stall alone. She stood at the mouth of the alley, wearing a beige trench coat and carrying a limited edition handbag, completely out of place amidst the surrounding hustle and bustle. Xiao Yan saw her first. "Mom, that woman is here." I looked up and saw Su Wanqing standing in the crowd, smiling at me. "Qin Zhaoning. Long time no see. Is there something?" "Nothing much. Just came to see you." She looked around. "Business is good." "Huh, not bad." She took a step closer and lowered her voice. "Qin Zhaoning, do you know that Tingshan watched your news last night and didn't sleep a wink?" I was flipping through the skewers without looking up. "So what?" "So you should be a bit more sensible. Keep your distance. Don't let him see you." I smiled. I handed the grilled chicken wings to the guests and wiped my hands. "Miss Su, the barbecue stall is mine. I can set it up wherever I want. If you don't like it, you don't have to come." Her smile froze for a moment. "Qin Zhaoning, don't be ungrateful." "Auntie." Xiao Yan suddenly spoke up. Su Wanqing looked down at her. Xiao Yan tilted her face up, smiling brightly. "Auntie, do you like my dad?" Su Wanqing was stunned. "You like my dad? So go find him. Why come to look for my mom?" "My mom doesn't like your boyfriend." The people in line around them heard and all turned to look. Su Wanqing's face turned red. "Children shouldn't speak carelessly." "I'm not speaking carelessly." Xiao Yan tilted her head. "Last time you were at my house, sitting on my dad's lap. I saw it." The air froze. The crowd waiting in line began to whisper among themselves. Someone took out their phone to sneak a photo. Su Wanqing's face changed from red to white, and from white to green. She turned and walked away, her high heels clicking on the stone path. "Dad Ada." Like she was fleeing. Xiao Yan clapped her hands and sat back down on the small stool. "Mom, am I really amazing?" I crouched down and kissed her forehead. The best in the whole world. She smiled, her eyes curving into crescent moons. After Su Wanqing went back, she had a fight with Gu Tingshan. According to later reports, Su Wanqing broke 3 vases and scolded Gu Tingshan for 2 hours. She said he shouldn't have left his ex-wife in the city, shouldn't have let her see the news, and that he was untrustworthy. Gu Tingshan's face turned pale from her scolding, but he didn't say a word. The next day, I found myself facing a few unexpected guests. 5 men, tattooed, bald, with gold chains. Clearly looked like they belonged to the underworld. They stood in front of the stall, not queuing, not speaking, just staring. Half of the customers were scared away. "Boss, your stall is pretty good," the leader of the men said, holding a toothpick. "Have you paid your protection fee?" "No. I was flipping the skewers, and I don't plan to pay." He laughed, revealing a mouthful of yellow teeth. "Not paying? Then my brothers and I might." "Uncle." Xiao Nian jumped down from the bench and walked up to him. The man lowered his head to look at her. "Little girl, go away." "Uncle, are you short on money?" The man was taken aback for a moment. "If you need money, I can lend you some." Xiao Nian pulled out a handful of change from her pocket. 5s and 10s. The cash she had collected today. "I have $47 here. You can take it for now." The man was taken aback. Someone nearby laughed out loud. "Uncle, don't be embarrassed." Xiao Nian handed over the money. "My mom says everyone has tough times. If you're hungry, they'll treat you to some skewers. But you can't bully people." The man stood there, his face alternating between red and white. The younger brothers behind him exchanged glances. "Boss, shut up." He shot a glare at Xiao Nian. "Do you know who I am?" "I don't know." Xiao Nian shook her head. "But I know that if you bully my mom, the police uncle will take you away." She pointed to the camera at the alley entrance. "There's surveillance. You were recorded when you came in." The man's face turned pale. Applause began to break out around us. Someone shouted, "The little girl speaks well." Someone took out their phone to record. The man glanced at the camera, then at Xiao Nian, cursed under his breath, and left with his group. I squatted down and held my daughter in my arms. "When did you see the camera?" "Xiao Nian, just now." She wrapped her arms around my neck. "Mom, am I very smart?" "Too smart." I buried my face in her little shoulder. "Smart enough not to be 5 years old. Because I was born from you." "Mom." I laughed. As I laughed, tears fell down. That video was uploaded online again. The title is 5-year-old cutie outsmarts a bully, drops golden quotes. The views exceeded 10 million. The comment section is filled with praise for her. Some people said, "This child is too smart." Others said, "The mother teaches well." And some said, "This is true privilege." Someone dug up the video of Su Wanqing looking for trouble that day, comparing it side by side with another video. Netizens have an incredible ability to fill in the gaps, quickly piecing together a complete story: an overbearing CEO abandoning his wife and daughter, a white moonlight coming to provoke, and the daughter fiercely protecting her mother. Public opinion overwhelmingly condemned Gu Tingshan and Su Wanqing. The stock price of the Gu Group dropped by 3 points. Su Wanqing's flower shop received a 1-star review. Gu Tingshan's phone was bombarded with calls, all from reporters asking, "Have you abandoned your wife and daughter?" He didn't answer a single one. Su Wanqing was unwilling to accept defeat. She changed her strategy, no longer causing a scene, and came to discuss the acquisition. That day, she dressed very simply, without carrying a designer bag, her hair tied back in a ponytail, looking like an ordinary working woman. She stood in front of the stall, waiting until the customers had all left before she spoke up. "Qin Zhaoning, I want to discuss a business deal with you." "What kind of business?" "Acquiring your barbecue recipe." She took out a contract. 5 million. I was flipping through the skewers and didn't respond. Qin Zhaoning. 5 million is no small amount. You wouldn't earn that much even if you set up a stall for a year. I'm not selling. Her expression changed. You. Aunt. Xiao Nian stepped forward again. Su Wanqing looked down at her. Her expression complicated. Aunt. Are you really afraid that my mom's barbecue stall will take away your business? Su Wanqing's expression changed. Not at all. Then why did you buy the recipe? Xiao Nian tilted her head. You don't do barbecues. You run a flower shop. Su Wanqing was at a loss for words. Auntie. Do you want to buy the recipe and then keep it to yourself? Not letting my mom sell it. Su Wanqing's face turned pale. Children shouldn't speak carelessly. I'm not speaking carelessly. Xiao Nian pulled out a piece of paper from her pocket and unfolded it. I've checked. Your family's catering company has seen a decline in revenue for the past 3 years. You want to buy my mother's recipe because you can't make delicious food yourselves. Su Wanqing's face shifted from pale to ashen. How do you know all this? I looked it up online. Xiao Nian blinked. Did you forget? I can go online. I was stunned. A 5-year-old child can look up financial reports online. Su Wanqing stood there, trembling all over. She looked at me, then at Xiao Nian, her lips trembling. Qin Zhaoning. What on earth is wrong with your daughter? A genius, I said. Good genes. She stormed off in anger. The contract was slammed on the table and a few pages were blown away by the wind. Xiao Nian picked it up, folded it into a paper airplane, and threw it towards the alley entrance. Mom. She will come back again. I know. The next time she comes, they'll find a way. I squatted down and looked into her eyes. Xiao Nian, can you tell mommy how you learned to check financial reports? I saw it before when Dad left the computer on. She said softly. His company's performance wasn't good. And I heard him sighing alone in the study at night. I was stunned. Do you feel sorry for Dad? She lowered her head and thought for a while. I used to feel sorry. Now I don't feel sorry anymore. Why? Because he doesn't want us anymore. She raised her head, her eyes bright. But he will regret it. Mom, I will help you make many more money than him. I took her into my arms. Okay. Mom waited. Su Wanqing really came again. This time she was clever. She didn't bring a contract, didn't bring a lawyer. Just came alone. She sat in front of the stall and ordered a skewer of grilled chicken wings. Xiao Nian brought it over to her. Auntie, you try it. This is my mom's specialty. Su Wanqing took a bite, and her expression changed. She took another bite, chewed for a long time, and swallowed. Is it delicious? Xiao Nian asked. Delicious. Then do you still want to acquire it? Su Wanqing put down the bamboo skewer and looked at Xiao Nian. Little friend, your mother is taking care of you all by herself. It must be tough. 5 million will last you both a long time. Not enough. Xiao Nian shook her head. My mother's skills are worth 500 million. Su Wanqing almost choked on her saliva. 500 million. Do you know how much that is? I know. Xiao Nian held up her fingers. Enough to buy a building. Enough to open 100 branches. Enough for us to never worry about food and clothing for a lifetime. Su Wanqing's expression changed. Little friend, you're not trying to negotiate with me, are you? Yes. Xiao Nian smiled. I am negotiating with you. Su Wanqing glanced at me. I leaned against the grill, flipping the skewers, wearing an expression that said, my daughter calls the shots. Auntie, can I ask you a question? What question? Why has your restaurant been getting worse and worse? Su Wanqing was stunned. Because you don't value taste. Xiao Nian said. You focus on decoration, on service, on marketing, but you don't value the chef. Good chefs leave. And what's left are those just going through the motions. The food gets worse and worse, and the customers dwindle. Su Wanqing's face turned pale. What do you a 5-year-old child. Understand. I understand food. Xiao Nian said seriously. Every dish my mom makes is delicious. Because she puts her heart into it. The food your family makes isn't good. Because you don't care. Su Wanqing stood up. And the chair fell over. Qin Zhaoning, your daughter. Is she wrong? I looked at her. She opened her mouth but couldn't say a word. Miss Su, 5 million. I want sell. 500 million. You wouldn't buy either. So let's not talk about it. She stood there, trembling all over. Then she turned and walked away, her high heels clicking on the ground. Louder than last time, Xiao Nian sat back on the small stool and sighed. Mom, she's so stupid. Why do you say that? If she were smart, she would cooperate with you, not compete with you. I laughed. How did you come up with these ideas? I learned it from watching TV. She blinked. Mom. Can you watch more financial channels in the future? I want to learn. 3 months later, Nian Nian opened the first branch of her barbecue restaurant. Located in the city center, it is the busiest commercial street. The shop is not large, but there are long lines every day. Xiao Nian stands at the door, wearing a custom apron with her cartoon avatar printed on it, helping customers take numbers. Auntie, please hold on. There are still 15 tables ahead. It will take about 40 minutes. Uncle, do you want to go shopping first? Wait until I call you. The guests were so amused by her that some people lined up to see her. A local food blogger came to visit the store and took a video titled "A 5-year-old girl is the store manager. Why is this barbecue restaurant so popular?" In the video, Xiao Nian stands next to the oven, tiptoeing to watch her mother turn over the skewers. Mom. The chicken wings are ready. Mom. Flip the lamb skewers. Mom. Put a little more chili powder. That uncle loves spicy food. The blogger asked her. Little friend, how do you know the guest loves spicy food? He came last time. Xiao Nian tilted her head. He ordered the super spicy. It was so hot he was sweating, but he said it was delicious. The blogger was shocked. You remember every customer. Of course. Xiao Nian counted on her fingers. Aunt Wang doesn't eat cilantro. Uncle Li doesn't eat spicy. Grandma Zhang has bad teeth. So she needs softer food. I remember all of it. The video went viral again. Nian Nian Barbecue's second and third branches opened up like mushrooms after the rain. In just 6 months, 15 locations were opened. Each one had long lines and received rave reviews. Little Nian became the spokesperson for Nian Nian Barbecue. Her photo is printed on the sign, the menu, and the takeout bags. The 5-year-old girl, with her eyes curved in a smile, is accompanied by a few words. Made by Mom, the best taste. The Gu family's dining empire is quietly shrinking. Their restaurants are closing one after another. The board pressured Gu Tingshan to come up with a solution, but he couldn't think of one. His white moonlight couldn't help. Only spending money. One day, Xiao Nian came home from school, holding a newspaper. Mom, look. There was a news article in the newspaper. Gu Group Catering is in crisis. Multiple stores shut down. The accompanying photo showed Gu Tingshan standing at the company entrance, his face pale, surrounded by reporters. Xiao Nian stared at it for a long time. Mom, is he going bankrupt soon? Maybe. She lowered her head and folded the newspaper. Mom, I don't feel sorry for him. I know. I'm just a little sad. I picked her up. Xiao Nian, it's okay to be sad. After all, he is your father. She buried her face in my neck. Mom, I don't want him to come back. I only want you. Mom knows. She hugged me tightly and whispered, Mom, will we be richer than him in the future? We will. Stronger than him. Yes. Will he regret it? He already regrets it. She lifted her head, her eyes shining. That's good. The news of Gu Tingshan's bankruptcy came faster than expected. But it wasn't because of our barbecue restaurant. It was because of them. That day, Xiaoyan came home from school with an unusual expression. Mom, someone came to our store. Who? The health department people. They said someone reported that there are issues with our ingredients. I put down the spatula. Then what? Uncle checked our fridge, looked at our inventory list, and asked us a lot of questions. She paused. Then he said our ingredients were fine, very clean, cleaner than any store he had checked before. I breathed a sigh of relief. But Xiaoyan frowned. Was that person who reported us doing it on purpose? Maybe. Is it that woman? Not sure. Xiaoyan thought for a moment. Took out her phone and scrolled through it. Then her expression changed. Mom, look at this. She handed me her phone. On the screen was a post from a local forum, titled Nian Nian Barbecue reported. Ingredient safety in doubt. The post was made this morning, 2 hours before the health department came to inspect. She posted in advance. Xiaoyan said, she wants us to be cyberbullied first, then checked. That way, even if the inspection goes fine, there will still be people who won't believe it. I looked at the post on the screen, and the comments section had already started to fill with insults. The influencer store really has issues. A 5-year-old as the manager. What kind of hygiene awareness can there be? Making money through unscrupulous means. Mom, what are we going to do? I thought for a moment. Xiaoyan, you mentioned before that you looked into the Gu family's financial reports. Yeah. Then have you checked their sanitation records? Her eyes lit up. Mom, are you saying? An eye for an eye. Xiaoyan smiled, revealing 2 little tiger teeth. Leave it to me. The next day, Xiaoyan didn't go to school. She sat at home, typing away at the computer. I don't know how she did it, but by the afternoon, she handed me a USB drive. Mom, the stuff in here is enough for them to drink a pot. I plugged the USB drive into the computer and opened the folder. Inside were more than a dozen health inspection reports, all from the Gu family catering group. The dates, issues, and penalty records were all clear. One report stated, cockroaches found in the kitchen, closed for 3 days for rectification. Another, expired ingredients, fined 50,000. Yet another, employees working without health certificates, warned and penalized. Xiaoyan, how did you find these? I have my ways. She winked. I organized the information and sent it to a few reporters. On the 3rd day, the headline read, a deep dive into the sanitation issues of Gus Catering Group. The accompanying images included those inspection reports and photos of cockroaches from the kitchen. Public opinion exploded. Those who previously criticized Nian Nian's barbecue all went to scold the Gu family instead. Can't even keep your own house clean, yet you have the nerve to report others. No wonder your business is getting worse. Who would dare to eat there? Gu Tingshan, are you trying to drag others down with you because you're going bankrupt? The stock price of the Gu Group plummeted. The suppliers came to collect debts. Employees collectively resigned. Stores closed one after another. Su Wanqing ran away. She packed all her valuables and disappeared from Gu Tingshan's villa with 2 Hermes bags. Before leaving, she sent Gu Tingshan a message. I'm sorry. I can't help you. Gu Tingshan made the call, but it was disconnected. He sat in the empty living room, looking at the mess all around, suddenly recalling what Xiaoyan had said the day she tore up the check. Gu Tingshan, you will regret this. He regretted it. It was too late. The news of Gu Tingshan's bankruptcy made headlines across the country. The Gu Group, once a restaurant empire valued at 5 billion, collapsed overnight. The court seized his villa, cars, and company assets. All he had left was a bank card in his name, with a balance of 3,200 yuan. He sat on the steps outside the courthouse, watching the reporters with their cameras, unable to utter a single word. A reporter asked him, Mr. Gu, Do you have anything to say to your ex-wife and daughter? He opened his mouth but didn't make a sound. Mr. Gu, I heard that you gave your ex-wife a check for 10 million, which was torn up by her daughter. Is that true? He lowered his head. Mr. Gu, do you regret it? He stood up, pushed past the reporter, and left. His gait resembled that of an old man, hunched over, legs weak, each step slow. That night, Xiaoyan sat by the window, watching the news. Mom, he went bankrupt. Su Wanqing has also run away. She was silent for a long time. Mom, where do you think he is now? I don't know. Is he going to be hungry? I looked at her. A 5-year-old girl had a complex look in her eyes. It wasn't pity, nor was it hate. How to put it? It was like seeing someone who used to be very powerful turn into a very pitiful person. Xiaoyan, are you worried about him? She shook her head. It's not worry. It's just, I feel sorry for him. Sorry for him. Yeah. She lowered her head. When he had money, everyone surrounded him. When he had none, he was all alone. Su Wanqing left. His friends are gone. The company is gone. He's left with just himself. I crouched down and looked into her eyes. Xiaoyan, do you still want to see him? She thought for a while. I don't want to. She shook her head. But I hope he's alive. Just being alive is enough. I held her in my arms. He will be alive. 6 months later, Nian Nian Barbecue had opened 30 branches. I registered the company, built a central kitchen, and unified the supply chain. Every recipe in the shop is crafted by me, and every batch of ingredients goes through 3 rounds of inspection. Xiaoyan said, we need to run the cleanest barbecue shop. I agreed. Xiaoyan is now 6 years old and has started elementary school. Every morning, she carries her backpack to school and comes back in the afternoon to help me with the company's affairs. You read that right. A 6-year-old girl is helping me handle the company's affairs. She can read reports, calculate costs, and analyze competitors. When the CFO first met her, he thought I was joking. Later, in front of the CFO, she pointed out 3 calculation errors, and the CFO turned pale. Boss. What species is your daughter? Human. Just a bit smarter. This isn't smart. This is a monster. I laughed. A monster is a monster. After all, she is my child. That day, I took Xiaoyan to the west side of the city to see the new store location. As we passed by a pedestrian bridge, she suddenly grabbed my hand. Mom, look. Under the bridge, there was a person squatting in the corner, wearing a tattered overcoat, with disheveled hair and a scruffy beard. In front of him was an enamel bowl containing a few coins. It was Gu Tingshan. He had lost a lot of weight. His cheeks were sunken, his cheekbones protruded, and his eyes were murky like a stagnant pool. His hands were dirty, with mud caked under his nails. He squatted there, head down, like an abandoned dog. Xiaoyan stood on the bridge, watching him for a long time. Mom, he's begging. Is he very hungry? Maybe. She let go of my hand and ran down to the bridge. Xiaoyan, Mom, wait for me a moment. She ran to the convenience store under the bridge and pushed the door open to go inside. I stood on the bridge, watching her figure, and suddenly felt a pang in my heart. Is she going to buy him something to eat? The 6-year-old girl saw her father begging and felt soft-hearted. The convenience store door opened. Xiaoyan ran out, clutching something in her hand. She ran in front of Gu Tingshan and squatted down. Gu Tingshan looked up, saw her, and was stunned. Xiaoyan. Xiaoyan said nothing. She placed the object she was holding into his enamel bowl. Clink. A coin. A penny. Gu Tingshan looked down at the coin, his whole body stiffening. Xiaoyan stood up, brushed off the dust from her knees. In my heart, you aren't even worth a dime. So I gave you a penny. Gu Tingshan's tears fell. He opened his mouth but couldn't say a word. Xiao Nian turned and ran away. She ran up the bridge and took my hand. Mom, let's go. I held her hand and walked forward. After walking for a long distance, I turned back to take a look. Gu Tingshan was still squatting there, holding that coin, crying and trembling all over. Xiao Nian, how did you think of changing for a penny? The convenience store only had penny coins. She tilted her face up. Mom, am I very bad? No, you just made him remember. Remember what? Remember the things he has done himself. She nodded and didn't say anything more. We walked along the road, the sunlight shining on her small face, bright and radiant. Mom, yes. Will we always be together in the future? We will. Forever. Forever. She smiled, revealing 2 small canine teeth. Mom, I'm hungry. Can you make me some roasted chicken wings when we get back? Okay. Make it your favorite honey flavor. Make it a double. All right. Double it. She skipped ahead, the charms on her backpack jingling. The sunlight stretched her shadow long, like a tiny, brave warrior. I quickened my pace to catch up with her. This world is vast, and there are many bad people, but it's okay. I have a daughter. She is the best work of my life, more precious than any dish.